Welcome back to Augmented Voices. We're diving deep into AI today. And what that means for businesses just like yours.
Absolutely.
Some really interesting articles about AI, and we're seeing it make waves everywhere, from coding to clean energy.
Yeah, it's really fascinating to see how AI is becoming more democratized. Powerful tools are becoming available to a much wider audience.
Yeah, one that really stood out to me was about Alibaba. They released an open source AI model.
Right.
Now, this is a big deal
It's huge.
because usually these models come with a hefty price tag. But now smaller businesses have access to some really sophisticated AI capabilities.
Definitely. This is
Makes it-
huge for SMBs.
Wow.
Imagine having access to cutting-edge AI without breaking the bank.
Yeah, exactly. So no more relying on gut feeling or expensive consultants.
Right. You can have data-driven insights powered by AI. Think about a small e-commerce business. They could use QWQ to analyze customer reviews and predict what people are going to buy next.
Wow.
That lets them really focus their marketing and tailor their products.
That's a game changer. But implementing these tools can be daunting for smaller teams. It's not just plug and play, is it?
You're right. It's not. QWQ is open source.
So you can see how the model works,
Transparency is a big plus.
for sure. But what about security risks? If the code is accessible to anyone, couldn't that cause vulnerabilities?
That's a valid concern. Security is critical with open source models. You need robust protocols and constant vigilance. Businesses would need to work with cybersecurity experts to really mitigate those risks.
Okay, so it's a balancing act. Transparency and accessibility are great, but you have to prioritize those security measures.
Exactly. Now let's switch gears a bit. One article highlighted Uber's new venture. They're using gig workers to label data for AI.
Oh yeah, their new division is called Scaled Solutions.
That's right. And this highlights a growing trend. The demand for data annotation is increasing rapidly. That data is the fuel for all these AI models.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, could other businesses use this gig-based model for data labeling?
It's definitely possible.
What if you had specialized data labeling services for different industries, like healthcare or finance?
There's huge potential there. It could give businesses access to high-quality data without having to build their own in-house labeling teams.
That's a great point. But how do you make sure the data is accurate when you're working with a decentralized workforce?
You need robust quality control. Uber uses rigorous checks and multiple reviews to ensure accuracy. That model can be adapted for other industries too. You can even use AI-powered tools to help with quality assurance.
So AI is being used to improve the processes that create AI.
Exactly.
It's a fascinating dynamic.
Speaking of advancements, one article discussed Claude. It's an AI developed by Anthropic that can actually generate code.
And integrate with GitHub.
What does that mean for software development? Well, it can automate a lot of those repetitive coding tasks.
Okay, so that frees up human developers to focus on more complex problems.
Right. It could be revolutionary for smaller businesses who don't have the resources for large development teams.
We can build innovative features and get their ideas out there much faster.
And compete more effectively with larger companies.
It levels the playing field.
It does. But we need to be cautious. Of course, there are concerns about security vulnerabilities in AI-generated code, and human oversight is still essential.
Right. We need to ensure quality and address any ethical concerns.
Now, moving on to a completely different application of AI. One article focused on the U.S. Department of Energy.
They're investing in AI4IX to help integrate solar and wind energy into power grids.
That's right. They're using AI to tackle a real-world challenge, making renewable energy more accessible and efficient.
It's amazing how AI can address climate change and help us reach sustainability goals.
AI4IX can streamline the process of integrating renewables into the grid. It can shorten the time it takes for solar and wind farms to come online, from years to months.
Really?
That means lower costs, faster deployment, and a cleaner energy future.
So we could see those solar farms contributing to the grid much sooner, thanks to AI.
Exactly.
This is a great example of AI not only improving efficiency, but also making a positive impact on the world.
And other countries can learn from this initiative. They can use similar AI-powered solutions to transition to renewable energy.
So we've talked about all these exciting advancements, but it can feel a bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
How do we actually start integrating AI into our businesses, especially if we're not tech wizards?
Well, you don't have to become an AI expert overnight. Just start by thinking about the areas in your business where AI could be most valuable.
Find the problems you're facing and see if there are AI solutions that can help.
Exactly. There's a huge opportunity for UK businesses to lead the way in this AI-powered sustainability revolution.
It's not just about being environmentally responsible. It's about gaining a competitive advantage, too.
Right. Businesses that use AI for sustainability can attract customers who care about the environment. They can reduce their operating costs, and they can position themselves as leaders in a world that's increasingly focused on climate action.
It's a win-win for everyone.
I couldn't agree more. This brings us to a broader question about the future of AI and its implications for society as a whole.
As AI becomes more and more integrated into our lives and our businesses, what role will humans play in this evolving landscape?
That's a question that's sparked a lot of debate. Some people worry that AI will displace human workers and lead to mass unemployment, but others believe that AI will augment human capabilities and create new opportunities.
I think it's important to remember that AI is a tool. Like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad. It's up to us as humans to guide its development and make sure it's used to benefit society as a whole.
I completely agree.
But what does all this mean for our listeners who want to start using AI in their own businesses or careers?
That's a great question. I think the most important thing is to remember that you don't need to be a tech expert to get started.
It feels like there's a new breakthrough every week.
It's true. It's a fast-moving field. Staying informed is key.
So AI is forcing us all to become lifelong learners.
In a way, yes, but it's a good thing. It keeps our skills relevant and our minds sharp.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of AI, what's the one message you want our listeners to take away?
AI is not some far-off concept. It's here. It's now. And it's transforming everything. We need to understand its potential and embrace the opportunities it presents. But we also need to consider the ethical implications and ensure AI is used responsibly.
That's a powerful message. It's an exciting time to be alive, but we have a responsibility to shape this technology and use it to benefit everyone.
I couldn't agree more.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode of Augmented Voices, but the conversation doesn't have to end here. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into the world of AI and human ingenuity.
See you then.